3C もあるんですけど、3C 結構相殺が起こることが多いんで、3C の後になんか入れ込んでたらいいな。
What is up, Jam Buds? What's happening? Hope you guys ready for more Genshin Impact. This is day 1, well, day 2 of messing around with Thoma. If you were here yesterday, you would have seen several compositions we tried to run and see what we can do with Thoma. More on that in a second. But for now, I kind of want to see how you guys are doing today. So how's everyone doing today? Yep. Just realized that the background doesn't have the music, the lights on, so I'm gonna go turn it on in a second. But yeah, we're gonna get that done really quickly, and talk a little bit about, really quick in general, what Thoma is. If you haven't seen it already, there's probably a million YouTube videos about it, so I'm gonna go through it really fast. Yeah, we did a lot. We tried a lot of different teams in Spiral Abyss, and yeah, it's very interesting where we found off our results. Anyways, let me go turn on the lights over here, and then we'll get started. Okay? Let me go ahead and do that. There we go. Whew. All right, let's turn this back on. All right, ladies and gents. We're gonna have a significantly shorter stream than we had last time, that's for sure. So, yep. Let's talk a little bit about Thoma. Give you a quick overview of what Thoma is. Thoma is a sorry. In case you guys aren't aware, Thoma is a 4-star polearm user of the Pyro element. His ascension stat is attack, and he requires the philosophies of transience in order to level up his talents. He also requires you to fight the Pyro hypostasis, find fluorescent fungus, and fight a whole bunch of treasure hoarders. You can find the fluorescent fungus on Sturumi Island, and it doesn't take that long to get a whole bunch, so it's just a few days and you'll be able to get them to Ascension 6 or whatever level you want to in no time. His most important talents are his elemental skill and his elemental burst. As he is strictly a support character, and quite a specific one at that, he's not suited or designed for main DPS gameplay. He's not even that great for quick swap DPS, as his damage is quite paltry, to be honest with you. He also has another issue. His elemental burst, which is a very important part of his kit, the most important part of his kit, has a high energy cost combined with low energy production from his elemental skill, 3 to 4 particles on cast. So not only does his scaling for his attacks pretty bad, he needs energy recharge like crazy, or someone to fund him pyroparticles, or some method to fund him particles to make up for his high energy cost. This makes his low damage even lower. However, that's not what he's there for. He's there as a pyro shielder and alternate to Xinyan, who, as we know, uses defense to stack her shield, which isn't really that good. But this man stacks HP, like our friend Zhongli. And while in the first glance it looks like his shield doesn't really hold a candle to the mighty Lord of Geo, it does get pretty competitive because of the way his ult works, his elemental burst. Reading his talent info for the Crimson Oyuroi, you'll find out that his shield has the ability to stack on itself every time you attack with it, allowing him to refresh and maintain the shield. He's able to stack 2 different shields on top of himself when you combine his ult and his skill together, and the ult helps maintain the uptime of the elemental skill as a result. By itself, the elemental skill doesn't really stay up that long, so you really want to have your burst uptime as close to 100% as possible, meaning lots of energy recharge and possibly a Benny based on your team comp. But here's the thing about Thoma and the synergy with Bennett. While it clearly works, everyone wants Bennett. A lot of teams want Bennett, and when you're talking about Spiral Abyss gameplay, using your Bennett to fund a Thoma ult doesn't seem the most efficient way to use him. You could probably put him on any other team and get more benefits because of his buffing and healing properties. So what is Thoma for? Thoma likes to be able to initiate Pyro Resonance on another team that's able to take advantage of his shielding, but can also provide him enough energy if he can't do it all himself. As a result, he's more of a specialized shielder. He can't really go on many teams and make the team that much better, even with his shielding. However, there is one character where he clearly does his best work, and it makes sense. When you look at his kit and everything he does, it's clear what he was designed to do first and foremost, which was to be the missing piece to Hutao's team comp, to allow her access to the Pyro Resonance and access to the Viridescent Venerer 4-piece set. This allows her to increase her DPS potential to new heights by slotting in a Kazuha or a Thrilling Tales Sucrose to buff her multiple times and increase that DPS window, which is what we really want. However, in Kazuha's case, he ends up buffing Shinsho as well. Well, Sucrose as well. Both in the case of Sucrose and Kazuha, they end up buffing Shinsho and Hutao. Not only from the Pyro Resonance from Thoma, but Thoma allowing Kazuha to tag along for the ride. So as a result, your team DPS with Hutao will skyrocket. However, it's really hard to put him on other teams because you really need that energy recharge. So what we did was we tried several things. We tried several different weapons with him. First, we started with the level 3 weapon, Black Tassel, at level 90. It was a great fit, but it did require us to make sure we had plenty of energy recharge in the main substat of the Sands, as well as substats scattered around through our remaining artifacts. It was possible, and we almost had perfect uptime with our particular artifacts, but we decided to go with a different option. We ended up settling on the 4-star artifact, 4-star weapon, the Favonius Lance. If you can get decent crit rate on him, you'll be able to proc this passive multiple times, especially at R5, which helps alleviate his energy production problems. You still have to run energy recharge, a lot of it actually, but this really helps, especially considering the energy recharge at level 90.
Have confidence.
I'm trying to have confidence, Zen.
No confidence.
God damn it, Zen. So, like I was saying, hey, what's up, Zen? So you probably have a Favonius Lance hanging around. I would recommend that weapon for you for the most part. There are other weapons you can use, like the Black Tassels. Very great to stack as much HP as possible. But there is a problem with his HP. He actually has one of the lower HP pools in the game, like around Diona level. So you really want to stack as much HP as you possibly could while also trying to get as much energy recharge. So you're literally going to be sacrificing his already slow level of attack regardless of the situation. Of course, it doesn't matter because you should be running on teams where your main DPS is outputting so much damage and he's there to pop his shields and leave. That's really all he's there for. Do not run this guy as a main DPS. It's highly, highly recommended not to do so. You'll be wasting your time and it'll be rather frustrating. However, if you still want to try and up the damage on his elemental burst a little bit and you have the HP and the energy recharge to justify it, you could try in a niche build a Dragon's Bane from what I've seen. But I will be honest with you, I didn't like it that much. I felt like I was doing a lot better if I just worked on him strictly as a support. We did try some compositions where he was able to take advantage of the hydro and pyro applications of other characters, so that was kind of cool. But I just felt like he needed to be more of a support. Another 4-star weapon I really liked on him was the Catch. But the Catch really feels like a weapon you want to put on a DPS character. So if you have Zhang Ling, for example, or a Rosario, or a Raiden Shogun, you probably want the Catch on this guy, which is why I prefer the Favonius Lance over that. Otherwise, I'd be using the Catch if I didn't have Zhang Ling, or Raiden, or Rosario, or Zhao. You know, not even Zhao, but you get what I'm saying. You don't really need to be investing attack into him like that. Even though the base attack of the Favonius Lance is higher than the Catch. Isn't that crazy? You can try Scoured Spine if you want. I haven't leveled mines up already, but for anyone hungry for energy recharge, sure, why not? But like I said before, I really enjoy the fact that I get that extra 6 energy every 6 seconds. So I would assume every rotation I would at least be able to get 2 procs of this. Maybe even more. At least while this ult is up. So that's what I would do. Focus on energy recharge and focus on HP. As for artifacts, I would recommend primarily, since he's going to be strictly your support character, I would run the 4-piece Noblest set and try to get as much HP as possible while still taking into consideration your energy recharge. For that reason, I'm running energy recharge on the Sands, attack on the Goblet, and attack on the, HP on the Goblet and HP on the Circlet. Now you might see some builds out there that say 4-piece Emblem of Severed Fate. Honestly, I would not do that. The reason being is that Emblem of Severed Fate 4-piece are for characters that are strictly about doing huge damage with their burst. And since Thoma is really not about doing damage, more about protecting his teammates, it will kind of be a waste. And I'm going to assume you don't have a whole bunch of 4-piece emblem sets lying around after you were farming for Rosaria, Raiden Shogun, Shincho, Beidou, Zhang Ling. And if you have a character like that running the 4-piece emblem, you definitely want someone like a Thoma running Noblest to boost their attack further anyway. But you can also run 2-piece Noblest, 2-piece Emblem of Severed Fate, 2-piece Tenacity of the Millilith, or a combination of those two. Just make sure you have enough HP and especially energy recharge, because you want this burst off cooldown. As I said before, his elemental skill, the shield doesn't last that long, it has a very high cooldown. It's kinda sus. You'll need constellations to help fix that up, and we'll talk about that in a second because your boy got C2. Now, talking about constellations, Comrade's Duty, whenever a character protected by Thoma's Blazing Barrier, his elemental skill gets attacked, the cooldown of his E and his Q getting decreased by 3 seconds. This is more of a quality of life kind of feeling. It doesn't really boost his power level at all that much, but it does make it much easier to have burst off cooldown. And that's what's really important with him. This effect can be triggered once every 20 seconds. Your rotation for a team is going to be around 20 seconds, so that's not really a big deal. Plus, the cooldown of his elemental skill is 15 seconds. So it's not really not really that crazy. Although it would have been cool if we could find a way to lower it even more, but to be fair, especially in a Hutao team, you won't even notice or care about this, especially once you get the Constellation 1. But Constellation 2 combined with 1, it increases the duration of your elemental burst by 3 seconds, which means the burst will last longer than the cooldown by 1 second, I believe. That's really good. This will make it much easier to have your burst off cooldown. We'll find out how it feels today in the Spiral Abyss, since I just recently got this at the end of last stream. Blazing Blessing's elemental skill will increase by 3 levels with Constellation 3. Do you need it? Probably not. I would probably stop at Constellation 1 or 2. Constellation 4, however, is clearly his best one. This gives him 15 energy after using his burst, and it ends. This is similar to Diona's Constellation 1, actually. Let's go to that real quick. Now, it's very interesting to me that a Constellation 4 is just about as valuable as a Constellation 1 for a character like Diona. It's kind of sus. You would think they'd be in the same constellation area. I don't know what to tell you. But this is really strong. Diona also has a shield for elemental skill and healing for and an elemental burst to help keep you alive longer with the healing for her and more shielding for Thoma. And they're both 80 cost. The problem is, Diona has access to the Sacrificial Bow and the Favonius War Bow. Thoma really only has access to, a variety of energy recharge weapons, although most of them are for offensively based characters, so you kind of mostly stuck with the Favonius Lance or the Skyward Spine, in my personal opinion. But this effectively, in a team with Thoma, this effectively turns his 80 cost ult into a 65 cost ult, which, if you combine it with his first and second constellations, means you'll have his burst up all the time. And that's kind of the constellation I will love to go for, hopefully. We'll see if we can get that in the future. Constellation 5 increases his elemental burst level by 3, which really isn't that important considering he doesn't do that much damage anyway. However, his shield will get a little bit tankier, so we always accept that. And Constellation 6, when a blazing barrier is refreshed or obtained, the damage dealt by all party members' normal charged and plunging attacks are increased by 15% for 6 seconds. A nice little bump in attack for Hutao or any other carry you're running at the time that's running the shield. In terms of how much percent DPS increase that is, I wouldn't be able to tell you, but I don't know if that's really justifiable for a lot of people who are low to mid spenders or even like no spenders. Not worth getting a C6 Thoma over that. So I'm just gonna hope that I get it by osmosis or luck while we're playing the next 20 something days. But I would love to have it, make my Hutao stronger. And that's generally how you would play Thoma. You activate his elemental skill, activate his elemental burst, then go through your team lineup, and hopefully by the time you finish your rotation, you're back to Thoma, and you do it again with your burst off cooldown. That's how you want to build him. Now let me show you my Thoma build. Level 90, so I can get as much HP as possible from Thoma. Since he stacks with HP and he gets HP from his levels, it only makes sense to me to get him at least to Ascension 680 out of 90 minimum, or at least get him to 90 if you got the resources to do so. My stats are 45% and 143 on the crit damage and crit rate right there, with 229 energy recharge. Now, 229 might be a little bit too much. I might be able to sacrifice some energy recharge for an HP Sans, It just depends on how comfortable it is for us. We're gonna find out. Definitely when we get the Constellation 4, it doesn't need to be this high at all. We can definitely go full HP build and possibly even switch the Favonius Lance with a black tassel for stronger shields with the fourth Constellation. That's what I'm hoping. Anyways. Artifacts, we're running the 4-piece Noblest set because I don't want my Shincho, my Kazuha, or my Hutao to run this set. I want them to hit as hard as possible. Thoma will be providing the shielding and the buffs on this team along with Kazuha with his swirl. But you know, obviously Kazuha is also the secondary character that provides a buff via Viridescent, but we're not talking about Kazuha much right now. Like I said, HP on the Circlet and Goblet, and energy recharge on the Sands. But don't worry, at some point, we're going to test it with, where's it at? Well, we're going to test it with an HP Sand soon, and hopefully I might get lucky enough in the future to get an HP Sands with some energy recharge in the stats. And that'll be kind of what I'm looking for the most of. Constellation 2, Talents 1, 10, 8. I've already crowned his elemental skill. I want as tanky shield as I possibly can get. That's why. His max shield damage absorption is currently 35.3% of his max HP plus 4153. Hope it works. And, oh yeah, in case you guys don't know, the voice actor for Thoma in the English language is Christian Bennis. I really hope I said that right. Definitely one of the more popular characters in my opinion. He's definitely a fun character and he has a cool design. And his normal attacks, which we'll get into in a minute, looks really fun. I like attacking with Thoma even though he does no damage. Very much sad face. So, what are we doing today? We're going to be playing a lot of teams with Thoma. We're going to be taking suggestions from the chat in terms of what teams they would like to see. I've already told you about what I feel about what Thoma's team composition is really restricted to, but it doesn't matter. If you guys want to see for yourself before you commit, let me know so I can just do it for you and you can see for yourself. I do have a decently high investment on some of my characters, at least some of the more important and popular characters, although I don't have Eula and Yoimiya. Or Kokomi. So I can save for Thoma. So, yeah. That is my explanation of what is happening with Thoma. Let us begin. But first, I just realized we have potentially someone who needs help. Go here. Is that it right there? There we go. How you doing, Toxic? I had to go through that whole explanation and stuff, man. Oh, you'll be back? Wow, bro. I just said hi to you. Alright. Alright. So we're waiting for someone to show up. Looks like they want a little bit of help. I figured I told them I help them, so we're gonna see what's going on with that. Let me go ahead and share the screen. And here. Alright.
I feel like there's something I forgot to do.
I was even trying charge attacks with them now that I think about it, and it just wasn't working out.
Courtyard, put the T on. It's probably just my mind playing tricks on me.
Hey, give me 1 second. I think my cord is a little stuck on something, so give me a second.
Try some creative cooking.
Hey, how about we go for a nice meal sometime? My treat, of course.
Yep. Kind of messed up there. All right.
Come and try some creative cooking.
All right. So I think after getting the first 2 constellations for Thoma, right, we're going to try going to Spiral Abyss with a full HP build and see how that feels. I think that's the best thing we can try to do right now and see how things work out. So, if we can do this, then I'll be happy, because I would rather do a full HP build if we can secure enough energy recharge without this. So let's try Black Tassel. And we're gonna run full HP here. I am gonna try some Noblesse. See if I can get an HP goblet. Sands. So we have 36,000 HP here. 147 energy recharge. We're gonna see if we can get our burst on our cooldown, or how difficult it will be to get the burst off cooldown with this much energy recharge. I have a feeling it won't be that great, but we'll try it anyway. I think we'll have to make sure that we let this guy absorb particles, you know? Just trust my characters over here. 137 energy recharged. Can I give him... Okay, energy recharge there. Let me see here. Mastery. Yeah, that's probably as high as he's gonna get. Alright. We'll swap that one out. Now, I was actually thinking about running Venti on a team with Thoma because of Venti's passive, where he refunds energy back. That might be a good combination to run, but in terms of the rest of the team, I'm not sure what to do. We'll probably think about that a little bit more as we go along here. All right. So we should have enough energy. We should have plenty of energy recharge now. 141. Nice. All right. Let us begin.
I feel like there's some...
If you were here yesterday, we've already slapped the mess out of Spiral Abyss with Thoma and Hutao together on a team. But now we're trying to see if we can tweak him just a little bit to get the most out of his shield, but still have enough energy recharge. What I'm hoping for, like I said before, is that we go into a Noblesse and we get a HP Sense that has energy recharge in it. That'd be the jam. Alright. So, for a rotation, how do we run a Hutao team that has Thoma and an Anemo user with Shinsho? That's what we're gonna figure out right now. So I feel like... We'll try a couple of things. And we'll be going over the first floor a couple of times just to see how we feel about it. So we'll try this first. I was trying it in this format yesterday. In terms of the order, from left to right. Anything with energy recharge we're going to avoid. Alright, let's go ahead.
Here's backup! Don't get too close! Clouds high. The birds come.
Witness the power of the wild. Rain outlines your fate.
There we go. That worked.
Check this out.
Okay. All right, so we saw what happened there. So at the end of that rotation, we were able to kill pretty much those three Nobushi like almost immediately once we got the rotation done. Thoma had his elemental skill back up after Hutao got her elemental, after Hutao's damage burst window was going to happen. But he was just a tiny bit off. Just a tiny bit off on energy recharge. Right? So let me try it again and see what we can do to fix that. Get better at this.
Don't get too lucky, I got you covered. As one with wind and cloud.
Rain cutter.
Cross over.
To the fairy. Fire it up.
Yeah, see, I was still waiting for cooldowns right there. You saw that, right? I was still waiting for a little bit of a cooldown there. Okay. It's almost there. If it had like a tiny bit more energy recharge, I could get away with this full EM build. I mean, full HP build. Now let's get out of here. And let's run the, we're still gonna run full HP build, but we're gonna change the weapon to Favlance. Now our energy recharge is at 177. So based on what we saw, that should be enough. That should be enough to get his burst off a cooldown. Also, at Constellation 4, we can probably go back to full HP build again. With what I have anyways. You guys probably have something even better than me. Kuriksu, thank you for the follow. Welcome to the jam. How you doing? Welcome, welcome. So, going back to this again. Hutao with Thoma. So I think this combination actually worked. Now you saw what I did after I secured a Pyro Swirl with Kazua's ult. I went to Shincho, applied Hydro to somebody to remove the Pyro and replace it with Hydro, and then I went to Kazuo with his E and quickly swirled that before I went to Hutao. I chose to do a burst at the very beginning because there were multiple enemies around me. It was the best time to, like, get a lot of damage at once. Here's a question, though. I want to try something. I want to cast Hutao's E and see if I can then immediately switch off to lower her damage, lower her life, and see if I can go through the whole rotation and then see if Hutao has her elemental skill back online. Let's see if we can do that. Then Thoma, then you, then you. Let's try that.
My lucky day. Supporting fire. Don't get too close. Falling leaves. Adorn my.
Let me leave you a burst. No, my sword. Rain.
Wind strike.
We got 5 seconds left. Okay, so we wouldn't be able to do it. We have 5 seconds left, so we wouldn't be able to do it that way. Alright. That's fine. Alright, let's try it again. This time we'll do it the other way we were doing the rotation. Da, 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 da. All right, here we go.
Pourquoi? Huh? Huh. No, my sword.
Oh, I killed him.
My blade.
I think he yeah, he did like his vaporize. That's crazy. All right, let's try it again. Wow, I actually vape like that was pretty cool. I must admit.
Fire! Fire it up! Fallen leaves. Adorn my
Ring cutter. Huh? Huh.
wind strike.
See? Higher, higher, hands on fire. Huh? Phew.
I got you covered. As one with wind and cloud.
There we go.
Let me weave you a verse. No, my sword. Huh? Huh.
Into the wind.
Cross over.
Wow. That was really good. That was really good. Now, on that second rotation, I noticed that I did not swirl Hydro, you know. I might have to use a heavy or a hold an elemental skill every once in a while with Kazuo just to make sure I get them fully in there. Okay.
Supporting fire. Don't get too close. Fallen leaves. Adorn my night. The wind knows me.
Oh, fuck. No, no, no. Fucked up. Fucked up. I know what I should do. Let me make sure I add my elemental skill from Kazuo before I do the burst, because I actually have a constellation on him. Normally Kazuos don't have that, but we'll do this. We'll try this.
Let's get down to business. Check this. Clouds high. The birds.
Witness the power of Pourquoi. Rain out.
Time to go.
Fire it up.
God damn it. Okay, I messed up my elemental skill. I don't think my Thoma E didn't hit anybody. My Shinsho E didn't hit anybody. So I messed a lot of energy there. All right. But that was a lot better. I forgot that I'm not using my constellation on Kazuo.
As one with wind and cloud.
Let me weave you a verse.
Higher, higher, hands on fire. Go.
Don't get too close. Clouds high. The birds.
Ring cutter. Rain outlines your
Wind strike. Here's backup.
Go. Time to go.
Boom. There we go. That was perfect. That wasn't perfect, but that was really close to perfect. That was really close to a really good rotation there. That's what you want to do. All right, we'll go through it one more time. Can someone clip this for me, please? When we start this, someone clip this.
It's a lucky day. Into the wind. As one with wind and cloud.
witness the power of Pourquoi. No, my sword.
See? Cross over. Go.
One with nature. Clouds high. The birds.
Huh? No, my sword. Ring cutter.
I got you covered.
Higher, higher, hands on fire.
There we go. That's a pretty solid rotation there. That was really nice. 1 second. So what do you guys think of that? That was pretty nice, right? That worked out pretty well.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember.
Yes, yes,
But
Osmanthus
where are
wine.
those who share?
Osmanthus wine. see something here.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Let's see if I got that. That's a pretty solid rotation there. Okay, so we didn't get that. Alright, we'll try it again. Alright, we'll try to get that again. It was like 30 seconds, right?
Where do you want to go next? If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist spots, I have a few
We're gonna run out again. I just want to get them switch the music. All right, but we're not gonna switch the music. I mean, I want the actual Spiral Abyss music on. Where am I going? Yeah, music. There we go. Here we go. We'll pick this one.
What a lucky day! Check this out! Into the wind! As one with wind and cloud!
Witness the power of Gua. Rain up.
Don't get too close! The wind knows me. Clouds high. The birds can hear us back up!
No, my sword. Let me lead you a burn.
See? Higher, higher, hands on fire! Huh?
There you go. That was kind of cool. Decent rotation there. See what this looks like.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
No, we didn't get it. How do you, let me see.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Okay, so 25 seconds before the click, and then 5 seconds after. Wow, really? Alt X on the keyboard? Will that really work? I mean, I'll try it. Let's see. Does that work? No. How do you do that?
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those who share the memory?
Oh, I can do all this stuff too, huh? Okay. So I was just trying to clip on Twitch, and I'm not doing a good job of catching enough of it. So what I'm gonna try to do is use Streamlabs.
Every journey has its final day. Don't rush.
Open Streamlabs, go to output. Okay. Give me 1 second, guys. Output, check the box, enable replay buffer.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those
Where's
who
output? Okay, there it
share
is.
memory?
Click the length to desired time. Maximum replay time? Wait. I can't do it? In general settings, check the box automatic to start replay buffer when streaming.
Osmanthus wine
Automatically
tastes
start
the
replay
same as
buffer
I
when streaming.
remember.
Okay, it's already on there. In the
But where
hotkey
are
settings, set a
those who
hotkey for the
share
replay buffer.
memory?
Save replay. Okay, Control Shift S. We'll do that. Control Shift S. Now close the settings page and start the replay buffer by clicking. Alright, so I might turn off the stream for just 1 second to test, to get this set up. Create a new source for the current scene. Choose one called replay.
The same as I remember.
Wait, what?
But where are those who share?
No, I don't need to do that.
memory?
I don't need to do that.
Where do you
All right.
want to go next?
So if I control,
If you'd like to see Liyue's tourist
let me see what that
spots,
does.
I have a
Is
few
it posted in?
references.
It does. It does. The replay buffer is 6 seconds. Okay. Okay. So I just need to go back here. Let's go to output.
Osmanthus wine tastes the same as I remember. But where are those
Okay.
who share
So I think I have
memory?
to pause the stream.